Good morning, we are live. Let's play some music for a bit till we all get ready. I'm going to get and choose a deck, or maybe I will use the Wild Unknown Tarot, which is in front of me. And guess who else is already here on the table? I'll just show you. Can you see this? Sapphie? Thank you for joining us. So let's get together a few minutes and we will start. Sally, I'll see you later, Sally. Enjoy. My God, you're like in nice and sunny weather. So let's see who is here. We'll wait a few more minutes. I'll remove the text. I'll put this a little bit lower so you can hear me. Now you can hear me while the background is still kind of like entertaining. Let's see who is here. Good morning, Eating Yogi. Barbie was before me here. Sally has important things to do, so that's freaking awesome. Hi, Kylie. It's really good to hear. So glad that I see you. And hi, Mel. Happy CATURDAY. How's everybody doing? How you're handling all this crappy pandemic? It's just like we are used to being sort of imprisoned, right? It's pretty bad. But let's start. So let me see. Let's remove this text. I asked Sapphie to join us. I guess she did, and she went right back to her bed, and that's kind of like nice. So let's do these cards. I had them on the table, so I figured let's use them. Even though I don't know really what it is, I might use the gypsies with it. So happy birthday, Taurus. And we need to put this back. Put this back. Let's see. Now when the Sapphie is not here, except her little steps are here everywhere. Of course, you can tell I was shining the table before I started, and none of that is valid anymore. So just so you know how this really happens, because my little fur balls are allowed everything. So let's see, is this better? Is this better? There you go. Now that's better, at least on one screen. So we are going to see how that's going to look on the other. That's always really bizarre that I finally think I got it right and then no, you didn't. All right, so Taurus. It was my dad's birthday yesterday. He's 77, And it was like really weird, like it was not a good day. So he thought he was 80, then he thought, because he has this dementia, right? So then 79, then 78. I said, hey, you were born in 1943. Well, that's 82. So he cannot do this anymore. Hey, hello, Chris. Nice to see you. Oh my gosh, Numerology, like, look at this. Everybody's here. So that's awesome. So let's start celebrating Taurus' birthday. So let's start with them. And happy birthday to Taurus. And let's see what else we can find over here. Yes, that's right, Mel. She is blessing the table. It's kind of like weird. I really think that my animals understand me. Like, I mean, so if he came to me, I said it would be really nice for you to show your little furry face. And then as I was like just sitting down here, she just showed up, even though I just cleaned the table. So there you go. Yay. Yay. So, that's right. Like, he's shutting down. Like my dad actually is better than it was last year. I had to hospitalize him right on his birthday because it was lots of nonsense going on, and they found out, in fact, he had another stroke. So it was like pure luck that I had that reaction. So he was at the hospital for 6 weeks, but then he resented me because of it. Oh well, sometimes you need to have tough love, because he would have been dead if I haven't done that. So, Taurus, let's see what's happening for Tauruses who have the birthday now. So this one wants to come out, and this one is 5 of Swords, but it's reversed. 5 of Swords is reversed. It's really interesting. Okay, so let's see. What else do we have for Tauruses? And then we have 2 of Pentacles, we have Father of Wands, and we have Judgment. Yeah, I was looking at this 5 of Wands because look, it did cut the worm, but we know even if the worm is cut, it's still kind of like wiggles. It's still, there is like this electrical reaction that is really still going on. It's kind of like really painful image to me, like whenever life is affected, right? And then it leads right into this 2 of Pentacles, which is that need of coordination in a butterfly to stretch the wings. It really has to happen in a nice and elastic manner. And in this deck here, they have also shown us basically all chakras and all flow that is happening maybe even in the moments that are not even great. And of course, you're seeing this all skewed because that makes no sense, seeing it like that. So I'll try to see. I have to wait a few minutes before I really see what I did. So this is really telling me that maybe there is going to be a situation that you want to win almost like at any cost, that you maybe you're being told about something that that is happening in your life, and you're like not really either approving or there's like somebody coming in a play that you don't really know how to deal with this person. Let me put it this way, right? So hence you're trying to find what is the best way to really approach the situation, because Father of Wands could be just you, could be that really assertive nature of something that needs to happen, right? So Father of Wands is this kind of like the energy of somebody who is doer, who is shaker. It's kind of like restless energy as well. It's somebody who is really, really active. So of course, I guess it is your birthday, and in spite of the situation, I guess we are all adapting to it. So now being active maybe means something else, but nonetheless, it is really here, right? So there is like this situation that you feel there is like this motion moving forward. There's like something, I remember last week when I was reading, it was a little bit concern about your investments, about finances, about how to pay your mortgage, how to pay your rent, how to protect the investments that are tanking. And given that you have like really really good head, I think you were mulling it over the whole week, and it's going to be maybe also this weekend that is going to be like that. But then you're really jumping right in the fry, you're jumping into action. Judgment is a really really good card when it really shows here, and of course it means receiving both ends of the stick kind of a thing. Judgment is always telling us, hey, if you have been good, you're going to get good. If you have been bad, you're going to basically get your karma right now. And behind me, I have a scene. Matrix sat in Tiger's bed, and Tiger is trying to reclaim it, and Matrix is not letting him. So have a guess who won over here. So I'm just try to move it a little bit this way and see if it's going to improve it. So my dear Taurus, what I'm seeing here is that you really need to deal with certain issues from the past, and they're going to be very very prominent in this particular time frame. When the judgment card really shows up over here, basically it's almost like universe calling for you that you really need to deal with something and address issues in a really different way. You might be dealing with your kids, you might be dealing with your spouses, or you might be dealing with financial issues. It's kind of hard to tell because I see this Father of Wands, the King of Wands, instead of King of Pentacles. And again, I moved. And again, it's going to drive me nuts. And you know that I am OCD on this one, because you're thinking like, okay, how to hold my phone, how to do this. Okay, so let me see if I got it right. I hope I did. Did I overdo it? I maybe overdid it a little bit. Let me see where I left it off. Just let's move it this way a little bit. This is the bizarre thing, you guys. You'll be laughing, but you know, you move and then you have to wait 2 minutes to see what you did. So my dear Taurus, let's kind of clarify this a little bit. But all I would say is that on Que Sera Sera, this particular week, things will be happening that maybe have been brewing for a long time to happen. And it could be something that really triggers you, or could be something that you just waited for a long time to do, right? Maybe this also can talk about some kind of release. Judgment really thinks kind of like freedom from things, not feeling basically earthbound, like shining that light body, right? Having this feeling of being really in the zone, in the right place, but in a very universal way. This is a really really good card when you get Judgment. So let me see what you got here. And you got gift. Well, ta-da! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Taurus. Happy birthday to you. And whenever I sing, all my animals come because they know that's a special song. And here's Matrix. Yes, you are Taurus too. Yes, I did have a meditation and told me that Matrix was Taurus, and his birthday was yesterday as well. So then we have priest, and then we have doctor. So, oh my goodness, what is this? A gift of priest and doctor. So this really tells me that maybe, this simply tells me that you're being taken care of, right? Gift was reversed. So this could mean that something is being taken away from you, because priest in this deck was pretty much everything. A lawyer and a judge, and like, I mean, the person from, you know, the clergy or confessor, right? And I don't know, maybe you need to kind of, maybe some of you are separating, but I just don't really know, because of this combination. This could mean that maybe you simply need a legal opinion of some sort. These could be some kind of sins that somebody is like pointing at you, because of this judgment kind of like thing, right? These cards would be really kind of like close if you really think about it, right? But that, both of them really talk about presence of the sacred, representing God and the laws of church and society. And you are a really good sign to dwell in this, right? So he appears to be reading from his breviary, right? Suggesting that what he preaches is really not coming from him. That's something that he has absorbed, and then we have this church in the background, right? It's really interesting. It's a reminder that in life there is like more than physical. The doctor card worries me a little bit. It does have sort of like similar meaning, because it can cover a whole bunch of things, right? And doctor can also be a person of authority or trusted advisor of some sort, but this can also talk about a need for emotional healing of some sort. So it seems like that you will need advice of some sort, whether it's legal or medical, or advisor, in what remedies needed to resolve this current problem, right? So just keep this in mind, that maybe you're like stuck into something, and we know how strong minded you are when you kind of like make this decision, but you this time need to go outside, because that person will provide wise advice and comfort and almost like authoritative guidance, right? So it's going to help you resolve some situation here that somehow is sitting or brewing. So just keep this in mind. Okay, so that was a long birthday reading. So yeah, oh guys, you can hear Matrix. You can hear all these things around me. Matrix, where are you? Buddy, Sapphie, is anybody going to come and visit? Anybody going to come and visit? Tiger did manage to get his spot because Matrix heard happy birthday song and came to say hi. So today I'm drinking my peach juice because I had a coffee already. So who do we do and go next? Let's go with one of those signs that somehow always end up to the back. Let's go with Capricorn. Capricorn. Let's see, Capricorn, what is in for you here coming up this week? Guys, don't forget to like. Thank you very much. Nobody said anything. Was Anzac Day in Australia, lest we forget. Kylie said Anzac. Is that Australia, New Zealand day, kind of like a thing? So happy birthday if this is where it is. That's awesome. So you guys are Taurus country, and we here in North America, both USA and Canada, we are Cancer countries, and we are doing Capricorn. Let's not forget this. And that was Matrix again having his own conversation with himself this time around. Matrix, what's up? What are you doing? Unless he found that we have another pet. We have Daughter of Pentacles, then we have Five of Cups, and then we have like 10 of Pentacles. So that's really confusing. So first of all, this is you, right? This is the ground. So it sounds to me that you go from grounding to emotional. It's going to be one of those weeks where you are going to be affected. I believe also there is like somebody in your life that is kind of like causing you to bottom out, right? Look at that horse descending into the darkness. It's the water though. It's going to be replenished over here. In this particular card, it's not exactly the same as in the other decks where you see this a creature in cloak somehow wandering around and wondering about the spilled milk, if you wish. Here is different. Here, like nothing is spilled, the water is still there, except we don't know really if the horse can reach it, right? So this is really talking about maybe going down in your emotional depth. It also could mean Daughter of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles can talk about certain studiousness, kind of like attending to trying to learn something, getting to know something, right? It could be that you're like focused on your own family as well, because that's what 10 of Pentacles does. It could be that you're focused with your own mortality, that you're looking possibly in creating the will, or somebody's creating the will, or looking through the old photographs, not in a Mercury retrograde way, in a kind of like pride way, right? In a kind of like, look, this is what I accomplished. And sometimes it's really good for all of us to do, because I sometimes have clients that said like, well, what have I done? And that's why it's always good to see, okay, this is where you were, this was the baseline, and this is where we are today. So look how much we have advanced. And that is really, really important. For you, in order to really get there, you're going to be triggered emotionally of some sort. And it could be that you have a seminar. It could be that you are working. It could be that you pick up the old book. Something that you have to do as a regular thing, which it's like not clearly something that you can avoid. It's going to be a triggering moment for you. And the triggering moment is going to bring that essence of maybe even guilt, maybe even regret. I do see this like, flavor of codependency. Like maybe you felt that somebody took advantage of you. Maybe you're both sad about something didn't work out, and also kind of like patting yourself on the shoulder at the same time, right? That's kind of like the flavor where we get here. So let me just see what else I see here. Australia, New Zealand, Air Corps, Day of Commemoration. That sounds like mouthful, but hey, congratulations, guys. I have learned something. And by the way, today, Pluto goes retrograde. Woo! So we'll talk about when we get to Scorpio. So we have thought. And where's Barbie? She didn't show up here. So somebody please take over until she's back. And thought is really interesting. It's not very active, but look, both of them are thinking. Thought and sights. Like, it's the old dude over here. It's kind of like really interesting. We see a lots of motives over here. Like there is like clearly toga that we are looking over here, right? So he has a scroll in his hand, right? He has a skull over here. He has what do you call it, hourglass. Some smoke and a lion. It's abounding with possibilities. There's also the sea behind us here, right? So he's clearly, educated man and a scholar, right? So I think this could be a diploma on a table of some sort as well, because that's the only thing that kind of like had it there. And these burning herbs are just symbolizing that connection and understanding of the nature and of the things that are really coming to us, right? So there is like this need for thought and reflection, as I said, is going to brought upon you this particular time. And that can be like something that comes as a result of that thought and reflection. As I said, it could be just simply a walk into an event or something, and all of a sudden you are quote unquote triggered, if you wish, right? So you're going to try to find a way to resolve a situation or repair a relationship or move a relationship to the next level. But at the same time, you're looking, well, is this really fitting my line? Is this fitting my karma? Is this fitting where I'm heading, right? And if this is like a business like question, because this can also be this investment now, like you are realizing a new path, maybe you're even happy that you're managing to invest some money where it's going to rebound rather quickly, like within a year or two. So you're kind of like having like astute mind for this, right? So it's kind of like really strategy that you're going to coming up. And also you'll be really thinking about if some of you were sick of some sort, you'll be really adhering more to doctor's orders, let's put it this way. Where the site is similar, except she also has a letter. She however has the rose that is lost. It looks like the ship has sailed. Like what they really see here is very important, right? But it might be ship is arriving. I don't know, can we tell? We cannot tell really. So but I'm assuming it has sailed because the rose is down. That's, I guess, the thing. But here it's telling me this is kind of like some desire for some kind of passion and love, and maybe a little bit worrying about what to do, how to do, and also there is like a certain level of impatience, right? This card is really clearly advising not to give up hope, not to give up on something that maybe like you're going to have this, I would not say dark moment, but sort of like glitch in your system where you're going to say, oh, what the heck, I don't care, this and that, right? So it's kind of like really important to stay the course, kind of a thing. Okay, a little bit of juice. So who will do next? Barbie is just right on the cue. Barbie, we are now next, and we are going to do Cancer. We had Taurus and we had Capricorn, Barbie, and now we are on Cancer, and Taurus has birthday. So, oh, I see, Kylie. It's like a Remembrance Day in the US, and we have it here. November, what is it? November 1st, I believe, right? So that's really nice. So, Cancer. That's actually so appropriate to have this Remembrance Day, because right now we don't have soldiers. We have all these medical workers and all these essential workers. You see them going around and doing the jobs for all of us, so all of us don't freak out and collapse. It's just freaking amazing. So Cancer, like, you got 5 of Swords reversed. You're getting the Fool. Whoa, how is this even possible? Like, these two readings from before are now mixed in. So I don't know if you guys deal with Taurus or deal with Capricorn, which can actually really indicate certain things, but I would advise you that you look into these 2 readings as well, because I feel connection over here. So for you guys, I see that you are sort of like cutting some ties of some sort. There's like something from the past. Do we have any Cancers over here? There's certain things from the past that are no longer working for you, no longer, and it was really difficult for you to kind of like say, off I go, I'm moving forward. Or maybe somebody else is moving away, somebody else is moving forward, and this is kind of like making you very, very sad. It's just like on one hand, it's almost like when you're leaving home from your parents, right? Like, it's kind of like you're so looking forward that there's like the new start, no matter what it is. You're moving out to get your own place, or you're moving out to university, right? Because I can see this like 3 of Wands is like, look, the world is opening for you. There's like something super new, it's bursting, right? But it's making you sad at the same time. I don't know, this sometimes can mean like about new commitments, because the Fool is the good card. Look at this little chick. It's the very, very first flight who can take this leap, jump. It's okay, right? But all of these new things that are somehow bittersweet for you depend on your ability to cut certain things off. And this is the problematic thing, because it's Swords. And Swords is not the way how you handle things. You handle things in cups. You handle things emotionally. But this is like something that has to sit in your head, right? So emotionally, you're like feeling like it could be like a situation that involves not one person, but 2 people. And in that situation, it almost looks like that it's not going to be win-win-win. It's going to be 1 winner and 2 losers. And this is like what makes the situation very difficult. You might be the one who is removing yourself from the situation, or you might be the one who is just observing that, right? And almost like saying to yourself, I can see you shaking your head and saying, no more, can't do it. Costs too much. The price is way too high. So, but if you manage to realize that some situation was toxic or somehow brush off of you, and that you have to move forward, you're going to be realizing the benefits of it really, really soon, within a week. So that's really, really important, right? So, oh, it's Memorial Day. Okay. When is the Memorial Day? Knitting Yogi? Okay, let me see, guys. Let me just grab a few cards for you Cancers. So we have surprise, but we have journey reversed, and we have consolation. Interesting. In this card, we see him trying to get fish, but instead of the fish, his net captured a whole bunch of bags of money. Ooh, lovely celebration, right? So this is really talking about, and consolation is very similar. He's just reading his papers, and the angel appears, and it's all of a sudden happening. It means that something is bestowed upon you out of nowhere. You know how in life we usually notice things that happen to us when we are like on the receiving things of the bad things, right? But this is it. Like, I mean, this is not just the way it is. This is like one of those on the other side. Hey, you're getting something. It's a surprise. It's a visit. It's a letter. It's a phone call. It's a lucky break of some sort, really, that is happening. And it's really happening because you are actually not really reactive over something, right? Journey is like maybe you resolve some issues from the past, kind of a thing. It's reversed, right? So I don't know. Like, I mean, it could be even encounter with somebody that is going to be more rewarding that you may be expected, or could be receiving praise, or you might definitely improve your image. This is like this card of moving forward in a really, really good direction, right? So this is going to be one of those weeks that maybe you're going from apprehension to anticipation. It's going to be, wow, I can't believe it. Why I didn't do this before? Okay, did it ever happen to you? Usually happens to me when I try some food, especially if it's like overly super freaking weird, and somebody's trying to convince me that it's going to be good, and I'm thinking, yeah, I don't know, hamburger and a jam. I don't know about it. I'll pass on it, kind of a thing. Well, not really that bad. But then you put it in your mouth, it's like almost like a symphony, and it's just like it's really, really good, right? So, but it again, it's kind of like predicated on something here. I can see that here, right? So maybe you are postponing some kind of travel, and you're realizing this, maybe kind of vacations are canceled, right? Maybe there's like a missed appointment, or something doesn't arrive, maybe something doesn't happen, and that pushes you in activity, right? Maybe like, I mean, hey, you let me down too many freaking times, and enough is enough, kind of a thing. And that's kind of like it's going through your head, and it's pushing you into this new beginning, pushing you into some new things, which is still going to be emotional, but nonetheless it's going to be really good, and you're going to realize it very, very soon, and it's going to be OMG kind of like a moment. So just keep this in mind. So what did I do here? I put it the wrong way, so let's mix it up. I just love this card. They on a touch, they're like a pillow, so it's really, really nice. All right, a little bit of sip of my peach juice, my very fake peach juice, or peach flavor juice. So let's do Aries, because their birthday was last week, and if you really look at the sky, you will still see the sun is in the Aries, and that's always confusing part about the Western and Eastern astrology. It's so weird. I'm on 3rd floor, and I'm looking this way through the window, and there are townhouses, rooftops right next to me, and you can see these workers doing the roofing jobs. Surely they're not socially separating, and it must be really tough doing that stuff during these kind of hard times. So Aries, we have Father of Pentacles and Father of Cups and Two of Wands reversed. It could be like that you're like debating something. It could be two men of some sort. It is weird. Neither of you is kind of like your flavor, right? It's clearly telling me there is like going to be a time to decide something, and it's going to be super bizarrely weird for you to kind of like move forward, not knowing. Like Father of Pentacles is like that Taurus energy, so that's the Taurus we are dealing with. This could be that Father of Cups would be Pisces, right? So would be that very gentle energy. So this person here can move mountains, but this person here is going to be a person anybody goes to for emotional support versus maybe financial or business support, right? So, or it may be simply that this is going to be somehow a part of you, that you're going to feel stronger. You're going to start building a completely different assets of yourself. But somehow I feel more or less that will be on the outside. And that you'll be maybe interacting with two different types of people. They could be men or women. This is a general reading, and for some reason you will be facing some kind of choice. So I can see how that applies in terms of dating, that of course dating can be a tricky thing, especially in this time. As I said, it could be really a good thing that is really happening, but maybe both of these gentlemen or ladies would be appealing to you equally. Look at this as a black swan. It's something very unique and something really nice. But over here, like, you feel somebody strength through, oh my gosh, I really worked hard, I got here, and somebody who's like really, really generous in terms of time and money, versus this is person who is really generous emotionally, where you can really feel kind of like padded and everything, but none of them really give you that fire that you sometimes really, really need, right? Like, I mean, because with these relationships you really need a little bit more spice. So hence it kind of like feels for you that you're like in a little bit different space. And I'm really picking up on your energy, guys, that you're becoming very restless, that the steam is coming through, almost like the stores, like, you know, when you see the steam coming through his, like, I mean, nose. But I'm feeling this for you guys this time, kind of like coming through. So this is really interesting. Hello, Heidi, how are you? And guys, please like it. I mean, I want to know if you like what we are doing here on Saturday, and I really enjoy spending my CATURDAY with you. It's so nice to have this first thing in the morning. Memorial Day in the U.S. is a day of honor and remembrance for those who have died in the military. So, this one is service and consolation. I think it's this way because it kind of like jumped over here. So again, we're starting with consolation. We're starting with something like, I guess this is it. I guess this is what it is. You see, this is the difference between short readings and long readings, because then you get clarification and reclarification and everything falls in place, right? Consolation is this card, as I was just explaining to Cancer who got it as well, that you get something without deserving it. He's just like peacefully reading his papers or a book or whatever he's having here on a table, and the angel appears, and the angel says, hey, I'll give you, what do you want? Do you want a power? You want money? What do you want? And it's like, whoa, what did I do to deserve this? So this is kind of like a card that talks about realization of, you know, desires and satisfaction and esteem, like well-being and fortune. And I can see that this is all kind of like contained over here in these two cards, right? This can also talk about unexpected opportunity. It's going to be a very favorable period, right? So with positive changes and some kind of like approval, right? Maybe if you had pains of some kind of love, it's kind of behind. This page is now turning, right? And new love can appear, as we have seen it over here. It could be like even plentiful kind of a thing, right? So, but at the same time, while you're going to be very optimistic, there's going to be something that is really difficult to kind of like move things forward. So then you're having like this service and messenger was first, I guess, going this way, right? So this talks about something that needs to arrive, and this is also waiting for somebody arrival. So maybe kind of like waiting for the one is kind of like no longer, you know, sometimes when we heal, when you wait, and then it doesn't happen, all of a sudden, like they say time heals everything, but I kind of like don't really agree with this. I just really believe it's the actions that we do that heal, and then time just looks like the antiseptic, but it really isn't. But here it happens one day that all of a sudden you're not in pain, that all of a sudden you're not thinking about it, that all of a sudden you wish them well, and not to kind of like cut them in little pieces if they did something really bad to you, right? So this kind of like tells me that something is negative, something is a no, something maybe you're really hoping for over here, but you're like very apprehensive that maybe it's not going to come, right? So maybe you're waiting for your love interest to express their feelings, or kind of like profess that kind of like love, but all of a sudden maybe it's either not going to be something that you want or you care for, or they're not going to do it. That's kind of like the way it is. Very similarly here with service is this could be like honestly really something banal. If you think about it, it could be that your Amazon delivery is not properly done, is being displaced with the other people or something like that. Actually, I found a box in front of my door. It said delivered, and then I didn't see it. I was like just about to call Amazon, and then opened the door and I found the box, and it said it was taped with the duct tape, and it said, "I'm so sorry. I thought it was mine. It was in front of my door, and everything inside was open. But at least somebody was like so kind of like nice to really return it." It's the same thing as like with the service, right? There are this can talk about some triggers that maybe you feel something from the past is really triggering you. Maybe because of the things that you had in the past, you're like now absorbing these people as two-faced, or that somebody is a rival. It could be the workplace of some sort, and like you're maybe waiting for a decision about it, but it's going to be in that state, as I'm saying, of starting very positive and then going in a doubt. So just buckle up. It's normal. We're all going through it, and don't really worry about this too much. You really need to be focused on this positive, because this positive is basically what is going to help you. Like no matter what happens, negativity always drains us, if nothing else. Okay, Sarah. And I believe you have the reason to be apprehensive, but I also believe that you just can overcome things with simply kind of like being in the zone. So who do we do next? Well, let's do Leo next. Do we have any Leos here today? Leo. Hello, MK. It's so nice here as well. I was also out for a walk with Tiger, because Tiger woke up really late today, and I let him sleep, which is great. And then we went for a quick walk, and I said to myself, I was boiling in a winter coat. I said to myself, as soon as I finish live, we will go right back and do a proper walk. So yeah, probably we have something similar to you guys there. So let me see. You have Ace of Cups, you have Three of Pentacles reversed, and you have Son of Cups. Guys, this is a gentle, loving, flirting energy. It is weird. It could be, Three of Pentacles when it reverses. This is all talking about climbing the mountain together. But how I see it here, I just see that there is like some issue of possibly a third party, of something lingering over you, or something being in a way, because this just positioned itself right away. This mountain is crumbling down. That's all I noticed when I saw it, right? And Ace of Cups and Son of Cups are almost like the identical energy, and there is like this, except with a little hint of change. So there is the potential, right? So let's say this is a potential when you start an elementary school, and this is a potential when you start university, kind of a thing, right? But both of them are technically just describing that element of potential when we are going. So it is an emotional component, which is really important for you to know. Maybe it's a new day, it's a new life, as they say. You're starting something fresh. You're realizing that you're free of some chains of the past, or something that has been upsetting you before, that's something that has been hard to mount if you wish. But it's really important here to know that you are right now feeling really energized. It's almost like there is like a certain emotional clarity in your head, in your life, that you're free to move forward. I also feel that you might start looking at someone as a romantic potential. It might be some flirting. Son of Cups is a messenger, and but it's not much really. So don't read it too much. But it really depends what you do with it. So let's say somebody winks at you. Well, do you wink back? Do you smile back? Do you talk? Right? You can see how far this can go. It can go to exchanging numbers, etc., etc. But I actually do see something like this happening, and it's going to be nice and gently flirty and emotional and content and loving energy, and it's actually really, really lovely to see. So let me see what I see here. Hello, Althea and Akat. We have a Leo here. So we have Merchant reversed. Then we have Waiting reversed. Yeah, no more waiting for something. Maybe you have been waiting for somebody who could be overseas. It's kind of weird. They're again doing the similar things over here. And the Service. Why do we have these three reversals? Maybe I should, for the general reading, see them upright, but I will continue doing both as I see it. So Merchant is kind of like weird. I really think it's really showing up because maybe you're shifting your focus from something that could be work-based to something that is clearly just self-based, right? Like you're like turning to yourself, as we can see it over here. This card, he's waiting to see the fruits of his labor, and he's trying to reload this boat to kind of like go on the next journey. So that's reversed. She is also waiting for something to happen. In the original Sibylla deck, she has the, it's called Belvedere, and here it's called something else. She has the monocle, right? Or not monocle, what do you call it? Oh my gosh, I cannot think of the word in English. No, but not binoculars, monoculars, sorry, monoculars. But it's being turned the other way. So it's asking for that insight, right? So I think that you guys may have spent lots of time thinking about things. Lots of time going deep inside. I feel that you had lots of sleepless nights. For you, this may have represented a third-party situation. That you have been, whether professionally or emotionally, in a situation that you really wanted this royal treatment. You wanted somebody just to do some small, touchy things, and maybe they haven't done it for you. Maybe something was like that kind of like was that mountain for you, that saddled you with that heaviness, and maybe kind of like took you away from your own path. But this is why this is reversing, because you are, and this is what is pointing at this card, right? You're like now no longer waiting. You are no longer having expectations from some person over here, and in fact you're feeling complete freedom from the circumstantial kind of like things that maybe you feel you have been settled on. Because the good thing about Service is that he's looking this way. Like you're finding that something is of no use to you. You don't want it. You're just saying, that's it. I need to go forward, and I want to kind of like move on. And that's all that is really, really important over here for you. So guys, don't be shy flirting. Don't be scared, and I know you're not going to be, because certain things are going to feel different. I can see that you will shy away if you feel that there's like certain level of fear that could be actually buried in this card, such as if you feel, oh my gosh, this is not going to work out. You need to work through it, because this could be just fear in your own head, right? So just keep that in mind, right? So let's kind of like do this. All right, so now let's do who? Let's do Virgo. Virgo, let me write this down for Barbie. Barbie, is this helping you at all? I mean, I never ask. I'm just trying to do this. Someone just winked at me in the street. Yay! Yay, yay, yay. See, that's awesome. So what did I say? Virgo. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. Virgo. Virgo, 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 and Virgo. So for Virgo, we have Temperance. We have, whoa, 2 majors. Did we have majors so far? I think we didn't have majors so far. And then we have like 4 of Pentacles. I think some kind of patience that you had is starting to pay off for you guys. Temperance is that card that really talks about moving mountains. It really talks about making impossible possible. Here there's like this baby is arriving. You have been working on something diligently for a long and long and long time. What I'm saying to you now is not going to be coming as a surprise to you at all. Only thing that you didn't expect is this is coming right now during all of these times that we're going through. And that's why you have this 4 of Pentacles. This 4 of Pentacles is basically describing and signifying that you're kind of like holding it close to your chest. You're kind of like pulling it to yourself, because for one reason or another, because look at this, like 10 and 4 is also making 14, right? And 14 and 4 is making 18, because you still feel there is a level either of jealousy, so this could be very much work oriented of some sort. But I'm also seeing a very strong Sagittarius showing up here for you, Virgo. Whether or not is the energy that is going to culminate somewhere when is Sagittarius, November, end of November and December, or that you're dealing with Sagittarius of some kind of like sort, because that energy is extremely prominent over here. It's telling me like Wheel of Fortune, you're going to be on top of things. Things will be happening to you. So if there's like something as if as what I'm describing happening in your life, this is really a week to engage and to test your luck, because it's going to be gliding smoothly and properly. But at the same time, if you're just seeding and setting something in process just this week, you also need to be aware and understand that you need to be really patient about it, because Temperance is about that patience about it, right? But it's saying patience will bring you victory. Patience will bring you luck. That's what it's saying. Maybe it's simply pulling you away from something that you really want to do, and it's saying, wow, wait a minute, let's hold back. And I think that really applies when it comes to your investments of some sort. You kind of like want to kind of like branch out, but in the last moment you're deciding to go with either a more moderate thing, or just you're trying to be, I'm seeing this as a cash flow. You're trying to be liquid over here, and liquidity for you means having cold hard cash on your hands. I see some of you pulling cash out of the bank and having it in your, not necessarily in your wallet, but having it quote unquote in home, in your safe place for, you know, God knows what, just for your own safety and security. Because there is like this pullback over here that I see. So let me see what is this all about. And I just want to shuffle these cards a little bit just to see. Oh, Barbie, yes, we will do the doors next. I was waiting for my commander to tell me. Soldier. That's a secret. Soldier to me is always a secret. He has this bayonet, right? Look at that. Reunion. And then you have Pleasure Seekers reversed. So Soldier is like that very secretive quality that we have. And when you're being told something, and you also have loyalty towards something, right? So this is kind of like really all buried in this card, but it also is somebody who has to have a huge patience. It could be also representing justice and honor, but also investigation, right? So when this is not a person, it can talk, and that's what we saw at 18. It could be a little bit of that jealousy. It could be a little bit of mistrust, right? And protectiveness, right? It could be dealing with some justice or dealing with some kind of flaws. So It is associated though with very positive cards, right? So I think it's more positive meaning that I see here. So whether it can talk about serious commitment, it says reunion. Maybe somebody's coming back in your life. Maybe this is what it is. Maybe you felt that your differences with someone. You're freaking Virgo, right? You totally know, you get yourself, and you're more in tune with you, especially when you're dealing with a fire sign over here, right? Or somebody who has lots of fire in their chart. So you are totally insisting that certain things, hey, it didn't work so far. Why would we get back together if it didn't work? Let's not repeat this nonsense, sort of a thing. I'm already hearing your approach. But this person is telling you, don't be silly. You're not trusting me and you're not trusting people. Everybody can change, right? That's what I really think this you're feeling. All of a sudden there's like some possibility of a serious commitment, and that right now it's going to actually work, that you are on the correct path doing it. So almost like you're going against the grain of your own kind of like things, right? And the pleasure seekers, again, it's a very difficult card to interpret, because it really depends on the neighboring cards. It can mean anything from, you know, people just not having a limit to what they're doing, to maybe even third party situations, somebody just spending too much time outside. But it is reversed, right? So it can talk about some kind of like errors in judgment. Clearly, again, it could simply talk about the state of confusion. Maybe somebody's coming to you, maybe you're really guarded and you're saying no way Jose, kind of a thing, right? But at the same time here, you know, the advice of this card here is to assess actions and behaviors to kind of like determine that underlying cause, right? And to adjust, because this is really telling you, keep an open mind. Keep an open mind. It's okay to process, it's okay to be apprehensive, but certain things will happen and you might be very, very happy about that. So maybe this simply means that you're moving forward in a very structured way, that you're moving forward with thinking, okay, well, let's try it. I'm going to give it a try, but I'm not going to jump in with 2 feet in. So that simply could mean that you are kind of like very good this way. So Barbie ordered to do cards. So let me just cover this so I can do that without you seeing me grab another deck. And so you guys know the system. Let me even see the timestamp for this, because I will need to know it later. And why is this not reacting? So I can write this for Barbie. So think about a simpler question. This is not really, guys, proper reading, but it can give you some kind of guidance for what is going on. So for the door number 1, I have 2 cards that I jump through. For the door number 2, this one wants to come through. And for the door number 3, one came through, and then another one really wanted to also speak. So I'm going to grab both of them. All right, so let me remove this cover over here. And let's go. So let's see who picked what. So door number 1. Door number 1, we have Ace of Wands and Queen of Swords. It's all good in this life. Maybe there's like something from the past over here that it's kind of weird. There are 2 hands. This is clearly very phallic over here. Ace of Wands is like that wand that says, yeah, give it a second shot. Do it, try it, kind of a thing. And Queen of Swords is somebody who is no nonsense. There's like something that, hey, if you do this, it kind of like, I just cannot take turbulence. Sorry, no more, etc. But at the same time, really giving it a shot, right? So sort of like it's a calmer kind of combination of some sort. You might need assistance. This could be you, Queen of Swords. This also could mean, I really have to tell you, that you're cutting something or somebody off from the past. Somebody who really wants to. Maybe you're just cutting somebody who feels like just friends with benefits, and you kind of like have no patience for it because she's turning back to that. But at the same time, it could mean that these clouds over here are now enveloping everywhere, and that she's seeing some potential of some sort coming through. So this is really, really interesting. So let me see. Look at Barbie. She's picking everything. So the door number 2 is the moon reversed. And that's not bad. You see, some of you don't like reverse cards, and I really have to say, I can't live without reverse cards. I tried to do readings for reverse for Lenormand, and I was not successful with this. I cannot clear it in my head. It's not the opposite always. But with tarot, I can't live without this. So for those of you who don't like it, this is one of the good news over here, because this card is way better when it's reversed. So the moon upright is talking about illusion and delusion and fighting for something that maybe should be simpler and easier, right? When it reverses, it talks about us receiving clarity. Maybe it is some kind of like foggy thinking of some sort, where now it's no longer foggy, where we are realizing, hey, you know what? I get it. So maybe you have been triggered in a relationship or at work or in your family, and she or he always does this to me, kind of a thing, right? And all of a sudden, like, you're saying, yeah, I don't care. I really don't care. Because this is a really good card. So is it a yes? I don't know. It's more like a maybe. This one is a yes. This one is more like a maybe. And why is it maybe? Because it's going to depend on your ability, how quickly you're able to remove yourself with emotional triggers from the situation. And as soon as you do, because this is a major, this is something that is connecting to kind of like finalizing something, finishing some grand finale of some sort, that is something is supposed to come to the surface. If that's kind of like the path you're on, then clearly you're on a good path. And number 3, we have 4 of Cups, and then we have 9 of Swords. So 4 of Cups is reversed. So there is like this dude who is covering his solar plexus chakra, possibly even his heart chakra. He's not sure which beautiful wine offered or Starbucks coffee offered is the one he wants, even the super special one which he cannot see at all as a rival, right? So, and this is the card of that wash machine brain, as I call it, like you're always spinning around the same thing in the circles and expecting a different result and the same thing, and how could you have done it to me, why did it happen to me, that kind of thoughts, like this is my karma, I'm settled with this, why this happened to me, why do I have this disease, why do I have this, why. So why is the rabbit hole, right, of some sort. So the good news over here is that there's something that is going to happen to all of you who thought about the group number 3, that is going to tell you that something has to stop. Absolutely has to stop in order for things to actually continue moving forward. You need to stop this beating yourself over this. It could be a little bit of self-esteem issue of some sort. Maybe you're not assertive enough. Maybe you didn't even try as this guy. He's like, I don't know, no matter what I do, it's not going to work out. But then you suffer silently. Maybe now you're realizing that you have been the creator of your own destiny, and this has to change. So this kind of like is interesting. Whoever thought about this, the answer is no. But its answer is like really that soft now, that you're not going to even care that much about that wish this week, because there are things that are going to really shift inside of you in order for you to actually finalize certain growth inside of you to move forward. So that's kind of like sort of thing that's going to be happening over there. So okay, sorry to disappoint if you guys got your no answer. So there it is, so we'll see. Okay, so who is next? Who do we do next? Let's do Gemini. All right, Gemini. Well, I think the situation MK is saying, yeah, I had a death and rebirth. This whole pandemic situation where we really need to work together. It's making some people stick their neck out, and you really see them for who they are, good and bad. And I guess unless you live in suburbia and you have a big farm that you're blessed with this. I live in a small apartment in the city that is like way too expensive, and I probably should move out because it just doesn't really deserve. I'm not that active person that I would use these cultural events and everything that Toronto can offer. But for most of us in the cities, this kind of like feels really weird, and it makes you really turn more inward. And I had to learn how to handle my empathy, right? And how not to be broken down in pieces. And that was huge. I didn't even realize this is possible. So it is kind of like, for each one of us is a really different thing that is really, really happening. So Gemini, you have the high priestess, so you're doing the very similar thing that I've just said. There's like a four of cups reversed over here. Very, very intuitive, very, very contemplative mode, right? It's kind of weird. It's like you're feeling one step forward, one step backward, one step forward, one step backward, or two steps forward, one step backward. Kind of like maybe better thing to say over here. So there is like something that you are picking up. You're picking up on feelings of the people around you. It's literally going to be your Jedi tricks, if you really wish. You're picking up how people feel, and you know this even though the words are not spoken. Let me just grab this because this is completely different from everything else. This is like kind of like going in, because the high priestess is I don't know, somebody who is intuitive. You're a tarot reader, you're a psychic, right? Not so much astrologers, because they don't really use intuition. They more or less use mathematics to kind of like come to certain things, even though some intuition is really needed there as well, because you have to figure out. That's what I do for my readings. That's what I always say. I'm not an astrologer because I'm kind of like interpreting it differently. But this is the card where you can really sit in a coffee shop completely on your own, and you're seeing people without really hearing what they're saying, and just from their body language you're able to even kind of like be part of who they are. It's not empathy so much as kind of like full understanding. Hey, I know what's going on over here, right? So maybe you got hope reversed, you got reunion, and you got faithfulness. I don't know why hope is reversed here. I honestly am trying to figure it out. Because maybe because of these two cards. Because the high priestess is telling me that you're observing maybe things that are not really happy to see. Because high priestess is almost like sifting through things. Oh, you're good, you go on this pile. You're bad, you go on this pile. I can use this, I don't want to use this. And this is just simply sorting out. And just because you're good doesn't mean you're going to get through. Just because you're bad doesn't mean you're going to not being able to get through, because she is not even looking at these qualities that we consider good or bad, as she has her own judgment thing. She's sort of like, oh, you're really bad, but you know what you've been through and what the destiny made you into made you that way. And you're very good, but you didn't have challenges, and in a challenge you're going to behave differently. So she's almost like saying to people, you know what, you're going to travel a little bit down this path, because she's just a stage number 2, and come back to me, and then I will know how you're behaving in all these situations. And maybe this is basically what she's feeling. Oh dude, you're hopeless, kind of a thing. Maybe this is what is really happening over here. But I see here in the Four of Cups is generally talking about a situation which could be like, a situation of gratitude, but it is a situation maybe we are stuck too much in a space where we shouldn't be, and this is not good for you. Maybe you're dealing with people who are not as active as you are, who are not engaging with you as much as you would want to. Maybe you're reassessing people around you, and hence this hope reversed is coming over here, right? Because that enthusiasm over somebody or something is now kind of like waning, or you're finding it's kind of like misplaced. And I don't know, like, if you guys have somebody who is, let's say, a competition of some sort, whether in love or at work, then this message could be seen as something very, very positive, right? I also feel that this is really telling you that you're giving up on somebody, but that somebody is possibly still showing up. The problem here is that I think there is an issue with commitment with this person. There's an issue, not so much the third party, even though I can see that this person is possibly not faithful, because that combination would mean that. But it could mean third party, but it could simply mean that you're feeling like you are this person's option. You're not this person's first choice. Or you are meeting somebody that way who you are just saying, well, I don't know if this can last, if this has this ability to kind of like last, right? So, but nonetheless, you're being Gemini. You're saying, hey, you know what? Like, I mean, that's all cool because you're bubbly. You're like accepting everybody's ideas. For you, like, you're very different from High Priestess, right? You are quite the opposite. You're talking to anybody, good or bad. This is the quality of Gemini, and you're absorbing ideas. You just become the sponge, right? But then when the sponge becomes full and you need to squeeze it and even wash it off stuff that actually are not going to function there, right? Then you're saying, okay, certain things just cannot work out anymore. Maybe this simply means that somebody's coming back and you are just shutting it down. You're saying, no, I don't think so, not this time, and we need to kind of like move on to this, because maybe you are the one refusing some kind of collaboration. So somebody clearly is refusing something going forward. So just keep that in mind, guys. Okay, that's Gemini for you, my guys and ladies. And see, who do we do next? Let's do Libra next. Libras. Let's sip. Libra. 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 You have Daughter of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. You are getting a whole bunch of cards over here. So you're having Daughter of Pentacles. Then you're having Ten of Cups. Then you have the Eight of Wands. What is this? The Eight of Cups reversed. Then you have like Four of Swords reversed and Father of Cups. I don't know, is this all seen on the screen? This is really good, Libra. This is really telling me that, first of all, guys, if you have somebody who is either a fire sign who you're dating, it's going to be really prominent this particular week. You'll be heard. You'll hear like love messages. It's going to be lots of flirting. Heck, it might be even a proposal, I think, over here. It is something that maybe you're dealing with somebody who was like your strength, who was your support of some sort, and with whom maybe the things really didn't move very, very fast for one or the other reason. But nonetheless, you did learn the personality of this person really, really well, and you really know you can count on this person. Because now I'm seeing this emotional interaction over here, right? So there is like a committal energy in the air that I see over here, right? It is kind of like maybe for some of you deciding to resurface. Maybe some of you have decided, well, relationships are painful, I don't really want to work with this. But this is really telling me this is the energy of you resurfacing. This is energy not only of resurfacing, but really enjoying. Maybe you're going back in a relationship that you had previously. Maybe you are going back to the place where you have been functioning really, really well, and you just like step aside in order to quote unquote repair yourself, or there was like something going through. There's this Father of Wands and the Daughter of Pentacles. There's like this coupling over here. This coupling is really like well matched, and there is like so whether it's you who is like more experienced in this relationship or somebody else, or it's you who is less experienced and you're willing and eager and open. Hey, you know, I feel I feel protected. I feel really kind of like good over here. There's like something that is going to be a situation where you can learn quite a bit. Like 10 of Pentacles is like literally the situation in the Bridget Jones movie. I don't know if you watched it, when she just heard the wedding bells, tan 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 tan. It's going to be that excitement. It's something that really feels. So if, guys, is not this related for you, for relationship, for your work life, for example, or for your family, it's going to be the words of appreciation, the words of how much you mean to somebody, on what is kind of like really that you are contributing. It's going to be maybe the old, I don't know, situation, or old kind of like think. I don't think it's a grudge. It's just like something that kind of like comes from time to time to time, and you even find a weirdness in a situation that keeps kind of like resurfacing and repeating. And kind of like maybe you're dealing with a person who you just really don't want to talk about it, especially like about the elderly, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, they're old and they're difficult, and I didn't really go about it. But it's going to be something that this time around is going to be very touching, and is going to really go through you. So you're going to get quite a bit of appreciation in certain things. There's really not much even to kind of like look into that, but I want to see this like the 8 of Cups is really talking about coming back to certain issues and resolving them. And this is like kind of like getting out of, like, you see the third eye is activating, getting out of contemplation phase and just like moving into the action phase. So this one is a friend reversed. We got 4. And then in consolation and enemy. So friend reversed clearly means that somebody, you don't think it's a friend, but maybe this simply means that you had some issues with a friend of yours, and that now it feels like, so this could mean 2 things. It could mean that either you got rid of somebody, so this could mean that there's like still something brewing on your mind that doesn't necessarily need to be connected for the rest of with the rest of the cards. It could be some situation which kind of like pulled you in for some reason. Maybe there is like a breakup with a friend of some sort. Something kind of like went really bad. Maybe it's some situation is surfacing, but in this situation you're feeling very lucky. You're feeling that things are going to really work out, even though it's kind of like weird. The enemy card is looming. Usually the enemy card talks about male enemy, but again, this is a general reading, so it's kind of like not necessarily the case. But enemy can also talk about false friend or something, or it can mean that you're unaware of something that is kind of like raising something. Maybe you're afraid of that somebody is going to disrupt your relationship with someone as well. So maybe you're cautious or very protective, because this is lovely. Maybe you're very protective of what you have, right? You might actually experience a little bit of anxiety, this particular thing, or you might feel that something or somebody is blocking your path. I kind of like the thought, I just like actually just got this picture of somebody thinking, oh, just if this and this either situation or person is not here, I would be here. So there is a certain blockage over here. So there's like still something that you're mulling over in this particular period. So, and it's going to be, I think, connected to a person that you maybe had not so great experiences in the recent past. So that's really important. So let's see. The tiles with my door. This ties with my door question. Okay, I'm glad to see. Welcome. So now let's do Pisces. Let's do Pisces. Hi, Pisces. Pisces. Guys, did you like it? Please do like it. Pisces. This 5 of Swords each and every time today came reversed. So, Pisces. And you have Mother of Pentacles. I don't know. I'm thinking, look, guys, you have reversals. You have 3 reversals. And so this is, these are reversals. 6 of Pentacles. I don't know. Is this your mother or father that you're dealing with, that maybe you're asking for financial help or something to do around the household? Can you like watch my kid? Can you do something, you know? And maybe it could be a mother-in-law as well, sort of a thing. And it just like feels that somebody's like very ungrateful in a situation, that just somebody wants to receive. It's almost like you're like picking up and you're like able to see something about a person, and it's like annoying the heck out of you this particular time. You're just seeing really very unkind, and I hope this is not you becoming this way, but more or less it kind of like looks to me that you're like really, you're going to get really angry, and you're going to get to the point of saying it's like my way or the highway kind of a thing. And just be careful, because certain situations can get really out of hand. But for you, this is also something that has been brewing for a long time. It could be a sense where you're feeling that you're receiving something that you are not deserving, and vice versa, that you are like giving so much and that other people are not realizing how much you kind of contribute to their life, and that you feel they're just draining you, that they're treating you like I call sometimes my dad treats me like a wallet, right? He's just like, oh, come, just because he knows what that means, right? So let me see what I get here for you in addition to this. Well, we get constancy, we get hope, and we get surprise. All good things. So yeah, sometimes removing a person or even 2 people out of your life is going to kind of like almost going to be rebound for you, because constancy is like rebuilding yourself, and rebuilding yourself with totally knowing where you're going. This is why hope is really showing up, and it almost looks like you're going to be rewarded for going on this path, because the surprise is giving him much more than he bargained for. He's getting and fishing this whole thing over here. So this is really, really important over here. That is really showing up. So you are saying to yourself, look, I don't like what I see. I am not going to tolerate this. I am going to say my 2 cents, but you surprise me. And actually, this is what I see, that your stand is going to put somebody on notice. You're going to quote unquote win in a situation, even though it's not going to feel like winning. It's going to leave you fuming, I would say. Some of you might be sad, or some of you might be just simply you got what you deserve, it kind of, mode. But nonetheless, you're not going to be that willing to be open and sharing toward this person. And in fact, what you're really gaining out of the situation is ability to kind of like turn to yourself and deal with yourself, my dear Pisces. This is not a very usual thing for you, right? Because you are generally always want to be gentle, always wanting to be giving, always want to kind of like take care of the things that really need to be taken care of, right? So the surprise means that you are going to see signs this particular week about the situation that is going to tell you that you're on the right path, and continue and persist with what you did, because you'll have a little bit moments of, because this person is very, very strong, this person is very persuasive, and even when in a negative motion, this person always feels like, hey, I know what I'm doing, and can make you kind of like, it can minimize you. But you're not going to even look into that. You're going to be following, look at it, she's blindfold, she's following her own music, she's following, it's like almost like a siren over here, right? That is like sitting on this rock, and she's getting all these sailors to come to you. And maybe you're seeing one person as highly demanding, like Mother of Pentacles reversed, she's like asking time. and money, and it's me, but she's like really not reciprocating, right? So I don't know, this also could mean that such person can actually surprise you, that you'll feel, whoa, that was like not in a character, but thank you, it kind of like works for you, kind of like that sort of things, right? So that's going to be a good thing to observe. So that was Pisces. So we are down to the Aquarius, Scorpio, Sagittarius. So let's go with Sagittarius first. Sagittarians. Sagittarians. Venus on vacation, but Venus is retrograde right now, and Pluto is turning retrograde today, so that's going to be a weird thing. But it's also really perfect for what we are going through pandemic. Like imagine, haircuts and good clothes is not really first thing that comes to mind when we are going through all of that, right? So just keep that in mind. So let's see, Sagittarius. So we have again 3 of Pentacles reversed, and then we have Wheel of Fortune, and then we have the Chariot. So guys, I don't know, there is like a third party situation over here, there's like something enormously big that is really happening. You're getting like karma card over here. So this week you are the one basically being asked to stand up by the energy above us, and it's asking of you to just like make certain decision about your life. This is Jupiter. Wheel of Fortune is very important. It is about learning experience, and your sign is all about the learning, about philosophy, about kind of like where do I go. But the Chariot is reversed, and it's kind of like heading for a ditch. So it is kind of, in one hand you're lucky, in one hand you can talk your way out, but in the other hand, just make sure that do not move things too fast. Maybe you're moving away from something. Maybe this simply means like it has to be read together, that is kind of like connecting 2 pieces and saying, hey, you know what, certain ways of living are simply not ending well. Certain ways of living need to kind of stop, because the Wheel of Fortune is, look at this, we have the night and the night skies and the moon, and here we have the sun, kind of a thing, right? So the day will come. It is saying you are going in that upward motion. You're like really going up, because here it is going kind of like down and descending into the darkness, right? But at the same time, this is one of those weeks where if you did good things, if you paid it forward, this is going to be very beneficial. But also, if you sin, and this is so hard, it's such a loosey-goosey concept, I know, and it's not only about this life, but it's also the previous ones, which is going to really come to the fore, that is kind of like being addressed. And it could be very much into how you deal and how to interact with the other people, and it could be very much with what you basically stood for. Have you been honest? If you have been, the integrity can be really a rewarding experience right now. Also, you might just see somebody, this could be somebody else. I don't know if you have a Cancer, or if you have a water sign or fire sign in your life, possibly even a little bit of earth is basically mixed there. Those energies are really important. But it simply means, the Chariot means sort of like you're like really feeling that you really want to move forward. This can actually really talk about being restless in this whole situation, that you kind of like you're ready to move and shake and to kind of like dance and salsa, but it's kind of like that sense of feeling constrained that is kind of like making you very restless energy. But nonetheless, we guys have lots of things changing on the inside. There are emotional impacts that basically I can see here. And you see a sweetheart, you see cheerfulness, so there is like the third party over here, and the journey. I don't know, guys, this could also mean somebody from the past that meant something for you, that maybe ran away from you. That's kind of like that sort of things, because It could be simply talking about issues that are going through your head. But the journey, again, it's very much like the Wheel of Fortune, is something kind of like moving in a new direction of some sort. So you're really you're spending time contemplating situations that have played a role in your life. And it's kind of really interesting because you're looking at them in a different way. You're not necessarily you're not sad. You're in fact feeling comfort about your life evolving the way it evolved, and feeling comfort about where you are right now. And it's really important for you because the journey card is like about moving things forward and enjoying where you are. I mean, almost looks like you are with a partner that you want. It looks like this also can mean, yes, it could mean arrival of somebody else, and yes, it also could mean feelings for somebody from the past as well. So it's going to be really interesting because I can see lots of directions for you Sagittarians, and I guess in your comments you'll be able to tell me more about that. So let's see that. So let's see. I'm seeing Jenny. Jenny, who else do I see here? Oh, you're from Mozambique. Oh my gosh. Oh, you didn't know what CATURDAY is. We celebrate CATURDAY is because it's Saturday and this is Cat Tarot. So we fuse the two words together and we are kind of like celebrating by being alive on live chat together. So that's basically what it is. So welcome, and hopefully you can join us in the future. So who am I doing next? Let's leave Scorpio for the last because I also want to address this, or maybe I should address it in a completely separate video. So let me do that. I'll reverse Pluto retrograde in a separate video. So let's do Aquarius now, since I started with this. Aqua boys and girls, anybody here? Aquarius. Aquarius. We have Son of Pentacles, and you know what's so weird? It was falling down and I heard son of the bitch. Kind of a thing, right? And then we have like a Six of Wands over here happening, and the Empress. Son of Pentacles is Knight of Pentacles. It could be about some friendship, or could be something is like moving super slow. It could be simply somebody's not doing what they say they would, right? So this is that winning energy, or something like, you know, like carrot on the stick. You feel like you can get it, but you always miss it because somebody's always kind of like pushing things forward. It's almost like we are getting tired of that stuff. It's just kind of like, I have been chasing these rainbows for such a freaking long time. When is this going to happen? When? There's like this energy of impatience over here. And it's kind of like really interesting that is kind of like landing on the Empress card, because Empress is Venus and this is Venus retrograde. I think it's going to be lots of time dedicated to our domestic issues, such as cleaning, such as a very, very typical Aquarian kind of thing, such as picking your diet, cooking, even small things like what you wear and what kind of like accessories you put together, even the smallest things like how you fold your clothes. It's going to be really very self-oriented time. And it's going to be lots of decorating. Some of you might actually change your hairdo, or at least the way how you comb your hair, or even maybe dye your hair in a different color. Empress is a really nurturing energy as well, which means that maybe getting in touch with your friends and how things are going will be also very, very important during this period. So that's, we will see. Let's see. We have, look at all this like Aquarians rising and things. So we have Fortune reverse, which I think the son of the bitch that I saw here are going to run out of luck. Maybe somebody was pushing their luck way too far. Maybe somebody was pretending to be our friend, and because of everything that is going on right now, we started to see things differently. So I simply feel that there is this person coming in our life that, yeah, we don't feel that this is connection. Yeah, I'm talking about friends because this is the ultimate friend card for me, and my nose is itching, which means we really, there is a person we are really angry with in our life. Maybe this person brought us misfortune. Maybe this person spread lies about us, which is kind of like really weird. No, I don't need 2,000 of that. Yeah, I see here that was like this essence of some kind of like quote unquote victory, because that's the Six of Wands represents, but then it didn't happen. That just like didn't happen. Certain things just didn't progress to the stage where kind of like the hope was always there for some reason. So it could be a special friend, it could be just a friend, or somebody who she just basically meandered in our lives and just thought that because we are so easygoing and easy breezy that we are superficial. We really appear superficial on the surface, right, Aquas? But we really go deep. But you cannot snorkel deep all the time. You have to go back on the surface where we kind of like have more lighter approach, right? So this can talk also about some kind of, I don't know, social event, if such a thing is possible around here, some kind of celebration of some sort. But clearly this is something that is landing on a good mood. Something is really happening. And this could be due to that Pluto retrograde, because Pluto retrograde, guys, is going to equalize everything. Pluto retrograde is where the crimes and stuff comes to the surface. So it's going to be interesting, right? Even for those of us who really think we're so freaking perfect, things are going to show up and going to be, oh, kind of like, I did that, oh, I better watch it next time, kind of a thing. I don't want to be seen or repeat that, right? But I see, Aquarians, this is ultimately ending up to be, oh my god, you are amazing. I didn't know such thing exists. You just made my day. That's cute. So I think that is going to be harmonious time and new happiness and social stability and feeling comfortable in your own skin. So Aquarians, don't mind them. They're not worth it. And we just maybe lost money, maybe we have lost time, maybe we have lost engagement of some sort, but good times are coming forward, which is basically what is important, right? Ultimately, guys, we are going through the birth canal. I told you, we are going through the birth canal this whole freaking year. It's going to be tensed, but damn, new things are happening. Trust me, all of you who are here are realizing this. All of you who are going through all of that are realizing that you are this part of this new movement. And my channel is, as you know, not a channel that is going to sugarcoat anything. And I'm just telling you what I see, because I know that we all need to do work. We are transitioning from 3D to 5D, and all of you here are transitioning in 5D, so it's good to see you here. So Scorpio, so this is going to be really interesting. It's almost like a double whammy for you, and that's why I'm leaving you for the last. And why is this a double whammy for you? It is because, one, Venus is retrograde, right? And two, so Venus is retrograde and Venus is in Taurus, and Taurus is the opposite sign of Scorpio, and we also have Pluto retrograde, which I'm going to address in a completely separate video, but it's very important, right? So Pluto rules your sign, and some people debate if this is even thing, right? Pluto is not demoted from being a planet, but nonetheless it's your ruler. You're saying, what the heck, right? Just give me my freaking Pluto. And so it's retrograding, so it's almost like a dead card, right? Reverse now, right now. So there's like something that is being prolonged that shouldn't be prolonged. There's like something, skin has to be shed, right? But it's not shed, so hence it's causing infections and causing lots of things. Also, guys, Scorpio readings are very important for all of us. Whenever you check the readings, check Scorpio, because this is also representing the virus. And as you know, some of you probably know, virus is not necessarily a living thing. They haven't made their decision if virus is live, right, or dead, because I think it just kind of like has 5 out of 7 criteria, or something like that. That no bacteria is considered live, but this it isn't. So you have Father of Cups reversed, then you have Father of Pentacles, and then you have a Strength reversed. Well, talking about confusing, guys. Something going forward, going backward, going forward. Who had it? Somebody else had it. Father of Pentacles and Father of Cups. That was Aries, if I remember well. I feel like I'm in one of those games. You have to pick this, like, I mean, kind of things that kind of belong together. The Father of Cups, it feels like you're becoming very emotional. Very, very emotional. You really need to stabilize over here. There's like something that you are really, really craving. And that's really typical, guys. Just think about it. You're walking tightrope. You're going to feel very, very tense this entire freaking month. And the way out of it here is really showing you here. Look at it. We have the race here. We have the race here. Strength means reversed. Somebody doesn't want to do things that you want. It could be criticism. It could be pointing finger at you. It could be yelling. It could be argumentativeness. It could be like, oh my gosh, pulling your hair out over certain things. And the worst part is like this Father of Cups. Where is my little prop? This Father of Cups is like this person who is pretending outward to be so beautiful and so kind and so loving, just like with these pretty eyes. But then you know very well that, you know, this person can change on a freaking whim, on a drop of a coin, and there's a completely different personality. But yet when you tell about it to the others, nobody trusts you because this person is such a, like, I mean, bunny kind of a thing, right? So this is that kind of like a thing. It's kind of like you feel that there is a person in your life who is basically either contributing to the situation that you have to now straighten out, or draining you somehow emotionally, because this feels like emotionally that kind of like you're feeling the bottom is out. Somebody is really taking you out. You will really need to, and I think this weekend it could be very emotional weekend. It could be some kind of loss. It could be some kind of manipulation of an emotional kind. You are deciding, look, I really need to get my head straight over here. I need to pull myself together. So hence this Father of Pentacles, King of Pentacles is saying, look, it is just another day. I have to get through this day 31 times or 30 times, whatever, right? So it is 30 times this time around, until we finish tours. And I am just going to do it because that's kind of like that slow and steady kind of methodology. So you have to go back to the toolbox that you had that worked and apply it, because you'll be getting a lots of resistance. Lots of stuff will be happening this time around that you're not going to like at all from the other people, and even internally, right? Conversations with people will probably go nowhere. You will try to turn things around to make them light and get closer to people, and they will not let you. Oh my gosh, it's going to feel I'm so sorry, man. I really have to tell you what I see. So just don't think like you're going nuts. So don't think that the world kind of like went upside down, right? Just you're going to feel that you really need a comfort and you really need closeness, and other people are just not willing to give it to you, right? There's going to be quite a bit of talk about intimacy and privacy and possibly even high energy. I think that you have a lot of pent up sexual energy. That's what I'm really picking up. I also feel that maybe you feel that your world is turning upside down. And as I said, it can be outside by the other people who are just being really impossible and really demanding, but it can be also inner turmoil, kind of like it can be some confusion and loss of perspective. Look at even the butterflies like falling down. I don't know, like, I mean, are you feeling that you have obstacles that cannot be bridged for some for some kind of like reason? You may be feeling squished. You may be feeling you cannot spread your wings and fly, if you really want me to put it that way. But I also feel that there is like some level of superficiality that is going to come to the surface, whether it's in you or is in somebody else, and it's going to be spelling the end of it, end of that irresponsibility. This could be even you, that you are recognizing certain things in you, but it could be also that you are seeing people around you in completely through different kind of like lenses. It's going to be really, really important, right? So if somebody doesn't want to say yes to something that you felt it was already deal in a box and cat in a bag kind of a thing, and now they're pulling out and maybe it was a relationship that was supposed to go in a certain direction. This can actually really rattle you out, because I can see that there are some words exchanged, and it could feel that is penetrating in you because it's highly striking you emotionally. So you just, guys, need to be strong. You need to be strong. It's going to be hard. I think you're not going to listen to me. You're going to lash out, and it's going to be one of those times. But all I can tell you, guys, is, and the strength here is 11, and I'm reading this as 11, that this is now karma number coming through. This is time of healing, and in order to heal something that was festering is coming to the surface to be addressed. So that's kind of like what is important to keep in mind. This is only a week, but for you it could be a month. You just need to get through this month. The tools are here. Get through it in a way that is hardworking, taking care of home, taking care of family and the loved ones, and that's going to give you maybe small joys, but nonetheless lasting joys, and that is very, very important. And I think now Barbie is going to ask me for the doors again to do it. So let me put this timestamp, and then I'm going to cover it here. So because when I shuffle, usually things flip and you cannot see it. So again, let's go, guys. Now's your time, because you are on my live. Think of the question you really need. It's going to be yes, no, or maybe answers over here. So let me see the door number 1. Let's grab this card. I didn't see it. Let's go in door number 2, because I'm pulling the cards. Number 2. And I didn't see the 1, 2, and this one really wanted to come out. Okay, I didn't see any of these cards. It's one card for each over here. So let's see what we get here. So door number 1, we see Page of Pentacles. Well, this is maybe answer. Why? Page of Pentacles is slow. At best of circumstances, he's slow. He really needs to figure out, dot all his I's, cross all his T's. He needs to know freaking everything. When Page of Pentacles reverses, is like super slow. So certain things might not be happening with the speed that you want it to happen. This is saying maybe they might happen, but you might lose your patience while this is all happening. So that's why I said maybe. The door number 2, we have 10 of Pentacles. Well, sorry, 10 of Wands. This is a really interesting card. It's also maybe. Well, he's carrying something that he really doesn't see everything that he needs to know. So this question that you are asking is going to be redefined somehow. It's going to send you, it's going to show maybe secrets, it's going to show there are certain burdens in what you're desiring. So certain things will need to make lighter. You will need to start removing things to see things more clearly. And only then you will be able to reposition yourself to really see if you still want it, right? Be careful that in the process you don't make a rush decision and hurt yourself, because there's going to be something down the path that's going to be revealed to you that you don't know now, and it's going to be very crucial for a decision. So it's almost like better to hold back, jumping in the fray, if you wish, over here. And then we have the Queen of Swords reversed, and this is a no. This cannot happen at this time. Queen of Swords is saying this is not in your best interest. When she shows up reversed, oh my gosh, she is mean. And that could be somebody exhibiting some kind of like mean attitude in the situation. She's cranky, she didn't sleep properly, she's diabetic, but she didn't eat her sugar. And overall, like, I mean, her hair didn't kind of like create well, and you just walk in and you just like want certain things to happen. So you're getting this extremely cranky response. So this could mean that simply you're getting somebody on a really, really wrong day, or you just simply walk in a situation that was like already combustive to start with. So this currently is being halted by the universe for one reason or another. So there you go, guys. I hope you got your answers. I have this week, I'm preparing the monthlies, so hopefully they'll be coming Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so I can do, like, I mean, few a day. So I'll see how many of them I'll be able to prepare over the weekend, and we go in that direction. So thank you all for your super chats, what you call it, right? As Barbie says, that was like really cute. I have never seen this. This must be something that they're like doing. And so we are going to meet next week. We are going to be in May. Until then, guys, just stay tuned. Probably the first thing I'm going to release is Pluto retrograde, which is important. We also have Venus retrograde. So these two things are kind of like playing off each other. And so I just don't want anybody to worry about things I will see going out. It's just simply things are coming to the surface, and it was a time for us to know. So you know that I love you, and you know, like, I mean, that I'm here for you. So guys, until the next time, I wish you all the best, and I'm going to play some music so we can say our goodbyes, and then we are going to touch base next week, same time, same place. Okay, all the best, guys. Oh, I put it very, very low here last time. Let me send this to Barbie. Thank you, Barbie, for your help. I forgot to mention. See you, everybody, next week. I'll see you soon.